My Little Pony, the movie, is this movie based on the series that I've seen all the episodes to, and the Equestria Girls movies. And I'm definitely not ashamed. No, I'm not ashamed. I enjoy the series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Obviously, it is not targeted at my demographic. I hate how people are like that. You realize you're not targeted at your demographic. Like, obviously it's not. It's just that I enjoy the show. There's nothing wrong with enjoying something. Like, come on. Freaking retard. I don't know why people are like that. I get it. It's kind of a girly thing and targeted at little girls. But guess what? The creator's actually been involved with a lot of stuff that was targeted at little girls. But she's a writer that wrote this stuff to be enjoyed by everyone. She didn't write it specifically for little girls. These company, Hasbro, who makes toys, wants this to be seen as something for little girls. But this is a show that can be enjoyed by everybody of all genders and all ages, because there's a lot of male fans of the show. And guaranteed the writers and creators know this, because there are literally episodes of the actual show that talk about those fans. They don't mention them directly because this is still a show intended for little children, but it does make jokes and poke fun at the fans, and there's references to movies like Back to the Future, which little girls would not know, and stuff like that. There's references to all sorts of things in the actual series My Little Pony. If you think it's weird that we like the series, I don't know what to tell you. You're the one with the problem here, not us, because we enjoy a show. I'll say this. It's like Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. If you're not a fan of Scooby-Doo, you won't enjoy it. It's not going to change your mind. But if you are a fan of My Little Pony, you know what? You will love this. But if you're not a fan, it will not change your mind, because this is totally just the series in movie form. It has a bigger animation budget, looks a lot cleaner. The music is better than the show majority of the time. That's alright. But, you know, the voice acting is about basic stuff it is. Except now there's a celebrity voice cast. You know, all these things that come with movies. You know, you got, Michael Pena, Zoe Saldana, Emily Blunt, you know, Chris, I almost say Chris Christopherson, but that's not his name. Kristen Chenoweth, I think that's how you say her name. But, you know, you got all these people in here, and it's a fun movie if you're a fan of the show, because in the show it's just set in, you know, the land of Equestria, and you get to see the characters go outside of that land in this movie, which you don't get to see in the show at all. So it's kind of cool, and you're like, oh. And they meet characters in different locations outside of there. They go in the water, they go in the air with like a group of pirates. You know, they go different places, and the music, and, you know, it's just. I think the only problem with this story is it's a little repetitive. But it's really like they do the same thing 3 times. So it's a little repetitive, but they get past it pretty quick. So it's not that repetitive. The real problem here is the villains. The show has written better villains than these within the show itself. They've been a lot better and a lot more menacing. And this is a character that's supposed to have taken over multiple areas outside of their world that they were unaware of. So it's kind of like, okay, so this guy's supposed to be more intimidating than the other villains, but he's just not. What is it? I almost wanted to call him the Horn King, but that's the villain from Black Cauldron. That's a classic, like, 80s Disney movie that bombed horribly. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can watch that on Disney Plus. I did a review for that on the main channel, but Command Studios, so check that out. But the Horned King is not right. It's Storm King. Yeah, that's what it is. And he's not in the movie enough, but when he is, he's just a guy he's just a comic relief villain, and he's not in the movie long enough where he can actually be funny. He's in it for maybe 5-10 minutes, and then the villain in his place is Tempest Shadow, which her backstory makes no sense because she has this broken horn, but so she gave up on friendship because they dropped their ball in this bear cave, and she loses a horn and has a scar on her face, so now she can't do magic with her horn, and now everybody thinks she's weird, which it's not a reason to give up on friendship. It's a reason to just feel isolated and alone. But your friends didn't force you to go into that cave. You're an idiot for doing so. So I don't know. Again, I'm looking too deep into a movie made for 4-year-olds, but So I don't know. I feel like it's a mixed bag. The movie's pretty decent for what it is, but it's if you're not a fan of the show, you won't enjoy it. And also it's just the villains are not that great, and the story is a little repetitive because it's just the characters. They meet a new person, they try to befriend them, and then they screw up somehow, and then at the end they all come together and save the day. But they do that 3 times before they end up saving the day. So it's it gets repetitive, but it gets the point of the show across, and it gives the main character Twilight an arc that she has to go through. I think it works for that, but it's just when you see that 3 times, it's but it's it's okay.